I had a point. Fuck. Okay, for the camera though, it's like 7 in the morning, 6 in the morning. We've been up all night.
It's sex in the morning.
Sex in the morning. Sex in the morning!
It sounds like a talk show.
Okay, right, so,
A naughty
okay,
one.
so the year was, and, like, this guy named Christopher Columbus landed, and he was like, hey guys, you guys are Indians, and like, you look cool, and like, ooh, why are you naked? And then so he gave them clothes, and then he gave them the first Harry Potter movie. And then they lived happily ever after for a while, but then they fought about like something, and then the British came, and then the British were like, we want your country, America, and then like the religious people came, and the religious people, as always, ruined everything, and then then the Americans came, and I'm not quite sure where they came from. I think they might be something to do with the religious people. So the religious people and the Americans like made sweet, sweet love, and then the American Indians were like, we want our country because we didn't realize when we traded it for 3 beads that you like legitimately meant our country. We were joking, guys. Like, come on, we were also drunk. Come on, that's not fair. So the beads were no, and then arguments ensued, and then like life got better for a while, and then we're currently at like, and then the Industrial Revolution happened, and now I actually know some history. So then the Industrial, well, the rest of that was just sort of guesswork on my part. Then the Industrial Revolution happened, and then like World War I happened, and then like America were like, we won that, yeah. But of course, if you believe the British, they joined on the winning side. Bullshit. Yeah. British love to believe that they won World War I single-handedly. But anyway, there was like a lot of celebration in the 1920s, where America was just like, we're number one, and they were number one, and it was great. And but unfortunately, it was not to last. For in 1929 or something, like the bankers were like, we don't need No, wait, let me do it again. We don't need no regulation. And then that didn't work so well for them, for the policies of laissez-faire and regular division. We're like, no, you, like, so, it sounds familiar, right? History repeats itself. Yay! So, like, Wall Street crash, everyone's, like, out of a job for, like, 15 years, and then suddenly World War II happens, America joined, arguably, on the winning side, and then America and Russia fight Germany together. The UK is not even worth mentioning. I think we had like some minor, like we were like, yeah, we stood up for our island or something. I don't know. We might have even been occupied.
You're holding the seas down.
What?
You got the seas taken care of.
Yeah, right. So anyway, America joins in, and you guys have like, invent radio. In another 50 years, radio will make it to the UK shores. It's gonna be awesome. We'll love it. The 90s were a very special time for us. We had the Spice Girls. Anyway, I digress.
Hell
so
yeah.
we're nearly there. So World War II's happened, and then like you guys were like, shit, we need an enemy, because like America, if America has an enemy, they're good. They love having an enemy, because enemies are the best for the US, because they allow them to define themselves through their opposite. So you guys were like, okay, well, like Russia's pretty big. Like they seem like a pretty good enemy. So like you guys like fought Russia for a while, and like had like. And that was when like the red phone was first introduced, which is the phone in the White House to the I don't know if you know about that, but like I've always wanted to paint my phone red in like my room, and then ask people who call it, son, do you know what color this phone is? You know, it'd be great. Anyway, I digress. So then the 60s happened, and like America went into Vietnam, and that was the first time that they really like had the crap kicked out to them by these like native people with like tiny guns, and then they realized that, oh, it's kind of difficult to occupy a country, and they learned that lesson, and they never tried to invade a country where there was like a serious militia force that would kick the crap out of them. So the fun fact, the Vietnam War never actually ended. The armistice that was signed was technically a ceasefire. It wasn't like a peace treaty. So that is still technically going on. Right.
Awesome.
So 60s, yeah, there were loads of protests against the war. Lol. But the one lesson that America did learn about the war was like, if you don't have a draft, like far less protests will happen, because people are dicks who don't care most of the time about anything other than themselves, obviously. Especially Americans. That's not true, but like I felt like insulting Americans because I hadn't insulted anything in a while. British people, lol, 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 lol. Okay. Now, you might think that the American Indians have been suspiciously quiet. That's because an awful lot of them were killed and the others were sort of stuck on reservations. Like, have you ever seen the Morgan Spurlock where he goes and hangs out on a reservation? Because that's, like, scary. Anyway, it's like a third world country, and it's the same in Australia. Like, I'm not judging the two countries. Like, the British, like, we killed, like, anyone who was, like, a long time ago, so we don't have to deal with that problem. We sorted it. God, why can't you guys solve the problem? We solved the problem. Anyway, but yeah, that's like horrible.
No, it was
anyway,
much more interesting to have a stolen generation. Whatever.
1970s, yeah, like the racism in Australia, just a side note, the racism in Australia scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you that story later. Because you can't wait to hear me talk more. Yeah.
I love it when you talk.
Right, 1970s, like, I don't know, music, I guess?
Put Eli to sleep.
1980s, like, Star Wars, I guess?
History lesson.
Back to the Future. 1990s, like, you guys had a brief obsession with like Australia and England in like the 80s and 90s, and then like 2000. Oh yeah, I remember. Like there was like this really important thing that happened in 2001. It was called the Summer of the Shark. And then like fast forward, and that's pretty much everything that's happened in American history.
Beautiful.
Oh, I just figured a standout. Oh, nope, just kidding. Didn't happen.
And so how accurate was that?